Continuing to select objects, I will now zoom into an area of the drawing. I'm going to turn off the layers here. I'm going to move the toolbar out of the way. And now I would like to discuss the fence option. Best way to show you the fence option is to select the trim command at this point. I will select the cutting edge, which is here, and enter. And I am now requested to select object to trim. Instead of selecting each individual line, I will type F for fence, specifying a first fence point, and right now it would like to snap to an endpoint or intersection. Let me turn off the O snaps. And selecting a point here, taking it across, and selecting a point here, and now right-clicking, and enter. The fence allows me to select multiple entities at once. Terminating this command, I will now use the fence again, but this time use it to extend the objects. Selecting the extend command, selecting the boundary edge, enter, and typing F for fence. The first fence point would begin here, and it would end here. And now I am going to enter, and the objects are extended all at once. I'm going to zoom back out, and the fence can be used also when selecting objects, for example, to copy. I can type F for fence, and it will select objects that the fence line goes through. So if I enter now, those are the objects that would be selected. That's the fence option. For the next option, I'm going to draw two lines. One on top here, and one on the bottom here. And now I'm going to select the erase command. I'm going to type L. L stands for last. It will find the last entity that was created in this drawing file and select it. And that would be the last line that I drew down at the bottom. And I enter. If I use the same command again and select erase, and I type L for last, and enter, it now selects the last object that was placed in this drawing file. Of course, we know that the last object was this line, but that is now gone, so that leaves the top line as the last object. And I can continue to erase the entire drawing by using the last option. Of course, I can always select move or copy or rotate and use L for last and still pick that line. The next command, first of all, let me delete this line. And I now want to copy, let's say, the entities here from this location down, and enter. What I just did was select objects. They became my current selection set, and that would be the 4 lines here and the X going through the opening. If I select copy and I type P and enter, it selects the previous selection set, which happened to be the entities here. And I can go ahead and enter and copy that up to the top. And that is the previous option. It works with the previous selection set. The next option is to select move, and I can type ALL for all. This will select all of the objects in the current space, and it will not select entities that are on locked or frozen layers. That is the only exception. Otherwise, you can select all of the entities. And then, of course, I can select another command, select my entities, and if I decided to, I can type R and enter to remove objects from that selection. I can type add, and this will go back and allow me to add objects. And of course, there is a change to that. We no longer use add and remove. It is possible, though, to still use it. What I can do is select objects, and if I wish to remove them, I simply hold down the Shift key and select the objects. To bring them back, I release the Shift key and I continue to select objects. Once again, that's using the Shift key to deselect objects. When I take my finger off of the Shift key, I can go back and resume adding objects to the selection.